back, gems. So today's video is actually very special. I'm about to get ready for a Zoom call. Yes, I'm about to get ready for a Zoom call. You heard me right. Makeup, clothes, earrings, yeah. Basically graduating from my summer immersion program from Girls Who Code. This is actually very big for me because I have touched code before. I've definitely touched code before, but I've never gone in the depths of code as much as I did for my beginner stage. I'm gonna do more talking while I'm getting ready because I actually do have to like hurry up and get ready. So I'm gonna be putting my camera somewhere and you guys will see me get ready. I'll also be adding some footage to this video of us on the Zoom call because we actually have two very special guests. Y'all not even gonna believe this. So first and foremost, we're gonna have our whole mentorship that has actually been coming to some of our Zoom calls, just like giving us some more insight on what they do. They're like the whole reason why this was like even possible. Yeah, virtually. We had to do this all virtually. This was going to be in person, but DTCC has helped us. So DTCC is a depository trust and clearing corporation. Basically what DTCC does is they provide clearing and settlement services to the financial market by using code. Everyone who joined the Zoom call that works at DTCC was there for a pretty good fraction of our Girls Who Code summer immersion program, and it was so inspiring to just hear from people who actually work with code, men and women. So honestly, there was just period. Like I was first of all, I was just proud because I also got some insight on like where the inspiration came from, why they chose code, where their life was at that moment. Because you gotta make tough decisions sometimes. I'm gonna go on ahead and just get ready, and yes, I'll still be rambling, and yeah. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you guys what I'll be wearing. I'm only going to be showing like a fraction of myself, which is like probably like right here. I plan on putting my computer somewhere sort of kind of far away from me, but here are the earrings I'm going to be wearing. So now it's time to start rambling and do my makeup. Alright, so for starters, of course, I did my skincare routine for the morning. That's already done for. You know, just like the basic stuff, some oil, some moisturizer, some sunscreen. I'm Gucci. I'm gonna tell you guys, first I apply this. This is a loose face powder by Airspun. And I apply this first before I apply anything, just because I can see a difference from making this step maybe like in the middle of my makeup routine. Everybody does it differently, but I've just taken notice of doing it first, applying it first to my face. It gives me a matte finish, so I don't necessarily have to reapply this unless like I really have to, which is like very rarely. So first you're gonna look pretty white, you know, you're gonna look pretty dry, but you know, it's cool, it's fading. So now to talk about Girls Who Code. I don't really remember the month, quite honestly, but I'm going to give you guys a rough estimate just because I remember it was far long before COVID came and it was in the middle of the winter. So let me say like my birthday, probably my birthday, which is around January. Applying for Girls Who Code was really, you know, easy to do, but at the same time you have to be careful about what you say, just because of course they're gonna only want people that seem like they're actually interested in learning code. They are big on sisterhood as well, so a lot of the activities that we would do would have to do about like sisterhood and getting to know each other. I love a community of girls because although it was virtual, and I would just love for it to be like, you know, to actually go, it would have been so much better. But we had to do virtual. And I started to think, I wonder how this is going to be. Like, I really wonder. I wasn't doubting them because I knew if you're gonna make a summer immersion program be virtual, you gotta try and make that interactive. So that wasn't my doubt. But I was definitely like, supposed to do this in real life. We're supposed to do this around people. And what if everybody be shy because it's through virtual? Those were like my thoughts, just like a little bit. I wasn't too worried about like, you know, the work and stuff because it's just on a computer. You do coding on a computer. So there were a couple of girls that I actually got to get more closer with, so that was really dope. And actually towards the second week, which is right now, we had to do a final project. We were doing projects before. We did a personality quiz. We did mock-ups of other people's projects just to check out their code so we can see what it looks like. But we also did an activist website. So I remember doing the first website that we had did. That one was cool, but the thing about it is we didn't know much about CSS, which is basically the decorative and the style and the font and the background color. If you want your page to be then colorful and look like something, that's what you use, CSS. At first, the first website we did, we used HTML, and if you use HTML, basically what that is, it's kind of like a skeleton. I didn't show what I was using. So first I used this Click Cover Concealer by Absolute New York. Basically I use this around my dark spots if I have any. What I'm putting on my face is Glossier Perfect Tint. So first I have G4 and G3. So I wanted to show you guys what they look like. And I had to use two to get my perfect skin tint. So as you can see, it's kind of looking dope. Back to what I was talking about, HTML. So HTML is like the skeleton of it all. And this is basically what you put on your site. Whatever you're gonna say, you use HTML. So that was really cool to use, but at the same time, my first time using HTML was a little rough just because, you know me, I was just like, okay, it looks really basic. When do we get to the part where, you know, we do the background color and I want to change the font and I also want to add pictures. So I was just trying to do all that stuff, you know, the creative side of things. Then the next day we literally learned CSS. So that was really, really dope. So I want to talk a little bit about the people that are going to be joining the call today. So we have our two special guests that are coming around 2 p.m. That'll be until 3 p.m. And the one that I'm about to join right now is starting at 9:30 to 11. And that is basically we're going to be with all of the girls, our TAs, our advisors, that have been with us since day one, but also our mentorship that I told you guys has tuned in and out on certain days. I can't wait to, again, speak to them again because it's just great. Like, I always knew I never really had an issue with talking to adults. I'm actually quite excited to talk to them again, just because I remember the last time that we had spoken and they were all just awesome. Like the discussions, I'm telling you guys, they're just so inspiring. They're inspiring. It's so much more than just, okay, yeah, do code because it's the future. They were telling us, do code if you want to be a leader in the future. Future of code for us girls is leadership. That's it, period. You do code, you are a leader. Why? Because you're not following anything. You're not following anyone. Like, you're literally doing your own thing. You get to work at your own pace, depending on what you do. That was another thing I was worrying about. So I had asked that question. I was like, okay, so going into code, how is the pace of like their learning? And basically they were telling me, and they basically said, well, it depends on what you do. And I was just like, okay, that's really like fine. Okay, there isn't really a thing on this brush, but there kind of sort of is, so I'm just gonna use the rest to go under my eyes. So, you know, when she had said it really depends on what you do, I kind of sort of already knew that. Not all of it is gonna look the same, but it's still gonna be so exciting because you're learning something new. I don't know, I could really go on. About my experience with Girls Who Code. Will I do it again? Absolutely. There was actually this one girl, I'm not gonna say her name. Yeah, we're not gonna say her name. But she actually told me that this was her second time doing it. I was like, that's really dope. She's like, she did it last year. And I believe I will be just like her. Doing it again. Yeah, probably learning the same stuff again. But this time, how I work is, okay, if I do this a second time, and if I barely need help and I'm able to help other girls that maybe this is their first time doing Girls Who Code, this is gonna be great. Like, I'm gonna literally master HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I didn't tell you guys we did JavaScript. I'll tell you what JavaScript is. If I master all of those, I can learn more. That's it, I can learn more. So, the product that I'm using right now, see, I just get so wrapped up in speaking. It's my first time, like, kind of like getting ready with me in a long time. So, okay, so the brand name kind of is messed up, but this is what it looks like. This is Glossier Boy Brow. Yeah, I use this because it just gives my eyebrows just like this really defined look, but then I'm also going to do a little, I'm gonna lengthen it, so. I'm not gonna do too much with the eyes just because I'm kind of sort of running out of time, and I just want to jump right into getting into the call. Okay, so I'm just going to lengthen it. And guys, I would show you this product right here, but it is just your average pomade. I have used this pomade for so long and it's still here, so why not still use it? So this is Bold Liner White by NK Makeup. It just makes my eyes pop and I just love it. And putting it on is just like kind of easy too, because I don't know, it's just something about it, it's just way more easier. Now I'm going to be using this Colored Blue mascara by NYX. I used to say NYX until someone told me it's NYX. So I was like, oh, thank you. Alrighty, so this is definitely gonna pop and this is gonna be so cute. Almost done. Pika. Really, bro? Alright guys, so I'm about to go. So I did my blue mascara and my white liner and I'm looking pretty good, pretty good. So I'm going to just do a side part, wear the hair like this. Peace. Believe. Peace out. Literally. So any idea, any business you want to start, you can literally use code to help formulate that. So code can literally have your back with it. You don't have to do it on your own. So it can be like a superpower.
We know it can be daunting sometimes, but we're passionate about it and we love seeing that momentum and creativity coming up. But I just wanted to encourage you guys, fantastic job. Keep the passion, keep learning, keep growing.
Thank you. It's really always a pleasure to hear from you guys working at DTCC.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Girls Who Code Summer Immersion Program graduates. My name is Kayasu, and I am so incredibly proud of you. Over these past few weeks, you were truly brave, not perfect. You showed up even when in these past few weeks, you were building your bravery muscle. And not only that, you were developing the courage to grow and connect. And sisterhood is strong because we are committed to supporting one another. Every time I connect with a fellow Girls Who Code sister, I get so excited because I know that we share values and ideals of kindness, emotional intelligence, empathy, and social justice, and that we are committed to making this world a better place, together as a sisterhood. And during these challenging times, I hope you continue to be present. find moments of peace and joy, and to take it day
stabilizing, for lack of a better term. It feels like people are coming after you intentionally or unintentionally. And it's nice to, one, talk to people to say, you're not going crazy. This is a real experience. But two, process how to move forward and have that support network. And then finally, I turn to history. I'm a total history nerd, and I've always been. But I think the thing that keeps me hopeful is acknowledging the progress that has been made and the fact that there are generations of people that poured into this world to such an extent that we experience the freedoms that we do now. It may still be imperfect, there may still be a lot of work to do, but I oftentimes turn to James Baldwin and other writers and speeches and such to just know that there are people that made it through. There are people that not only survived but thrived. And there are people that have poured into a generation, our generation, and they didn't even know us. They just knew that they wanted whoever inherited this world to live in a better world than they did. And so that is something that I try and keep with me as a reminder, and as something to ground me in the fact that the work that we're doing is possible and is achievable. And there are some things that we're going to see in the next couple of years, some things that we'll see in our lifetime, and some things that we're going to have to leave to the future.
We were talking about this, and she was saying, I went a wellness, break, but as an activist, I feel guilty. Like, I feel guilty taking time for myself. And to your point, right? It's like we are going to be fighting and we're in struggle, and unless we take a minute to breathe and to relax and to smile, we won't have the strength to go on. And I think it's a really powerful lesson that you. How do you grow from mistakes or learn when you don't necessarily succeed?
Well, I try and take mistakes as the ultimate brainstorming moment for me. So I try and macro, what was the mistake? Why did I feel like it's a mistake? Because you also have to acknowledge, was it a mistake to the world or was it a mistake to you? And I feel like if it's a mistake to you, then it's worth fixing. If it's something where it's in reaction to what people have said, it's worth acknowledging, okay, what are they saying and how can I be better? Or is this just a social construct that I'm breaking? We were actually in a conversation the other day about this really broad topic of who gets to be outliers. And unfortunately, so many people in our communities are stuck in such rigid boxes that we are not allowed the space to be outliers, or we're not applauded in the same way to be outliers. And so breaking those constructs can feel uncomfortable to people because they're not used to people who look like us doing that, or they haven't normalized it, even though we've always been outliers, we've always been innovators. And so it's, I think, one, analyzing what was the mistake? Why is it worth fixing? Why do you want to fix it? So it feels totally self-motivated. But then I also try and brainstorm. Okay, well, what do I want to succeed and do better at? How do I want to go about it? We're recently reading this book in which the author was talking about the fact that it's about 1% changes. And it's not about changing everything, but about every day making a 1% change. And that aggregate change will become something very tangible. So trying to learn that, and also being okay with the fact that you will make that mistake again. It is pretty likely. That is something I've had to come to terms with. It's not to say that you're not growing as a human being, but it's just the reality.
So as you can see, that was my whole graduation video. Today I basically talked about what Girls Who Code is, our mentorship, the sisterhood with the girls, and how the experience was. I also saw a clip of the founder of Girls Who Code, who is Reshma Sujani, and also Yashahidi was like her +1. So that was an excellent meeting. It was definitely inspiring. You know, if you know me, then you just know that I stan Yara. Like, that's just it for me. Just hearing from her and her thoughts really just kind of like, you know, I just feed off of it very positively. Something that really stuck out to me was when she said it's really hard to remain happy in times like this, but even when you are happy and when you have been, you know, taking care of your mental health, taking care of yourself and just everything, right? And it's really hard to be happy in these times. Other people, it can mean, oh, you're being selfish. Aren't these things getting to you? What are you doing? It's so true. People cope in different ways, but the people that are trying to see the light and who are trying to be the light in this world, I just loved it. I really just loved it. I resonated with that. I really hope that you guys enjoy this video, and hopefully you are inspired to get into tech as well, especially if you are a girl. Don't be shy. We need you for the future. Don't be shy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Rare Gem out.